Okay, let's test if I can hear myself here before we can get started. Okay, let's test if I can hear myself. Yep, I can. So that should be fine. I can see the chat, and let's start going through the requests for today. So let's see, PDD. I've never heard of this. It's probably another one added to the list. Yep, it is. So last one I did was Macy's. And let's not spoil that. So yeah, PDD is the one after SE, which is C Limited. Again, these are going to be Patreon exclusives. So if you're interested in those, EURJPY. I have watched that. I think I was in a trade recently on that as well. Or was it? Oh, it probably was USDJPY. Check out this one here. I'm not going to do a full cover of this because I don't know if that is worth doing. Okay, it is very high, euro against. Is this all-time highs? No, not even close. I've not watched this pair at all. This kind of seems more like three waves all round. This looks like an ending diagonal though. Or here, probably giving this as an ABC. This definitely has the potential of being some kind of ABC as well. Or even a triangle here, A, B, C, D, E. RSI is not really fitting that since this is the high here. See, 1 hour time frame. We've been on this very much of a pump. So it's very scary to be shorting this. I feel like there's plenty of people watching some kind of channel here. Something like this, maybe a channel that is from these highs over here or something. But yeah, we are at the very top of most of the channels you can draw in here. So again, you could be looking for shorts. There is divergences formed. I'm not quite sure if I like it though. I feel like I want to be seeing a first move that takes out a area of interest. For me, that would be this or this here. So around 155.5 and 151.5 are those two areas here. This definitely has the chance of being three ways, but I'm not really liking this too much. This one took out the liquidity, did it? Yeah, it did. This is very typical, seeing a double top and reacting to taking that liquidity for that and coming down again. And then again here, going up. This was more of a dump. But yeah, at this moment, I would not really be interested in looking for longs or shorts. I think we have something like this, but again, this can extend way higher. And we have only hit the 0.618, which is the minimum. So I wouldn't really like to be looking for shorts at this point. If this price was over here with the channel as a resistance as well, then I might be looking into that more. But for now, I wouldn't really be too interested in this. If we get another reaction to the downside, then I might be looking for a short opportunity against the high to get at least the three wave. These are the moves that you're looking for here on multiple of these forex pairs. For example, here you could have looked at this as a potential move to the downside, or even here you could have expected this to be a short opportunity, since this was a 5-way move. That does not really look like it is part of anything before it, right? I don't think this looks very valid as an ABC, right? So it probably had more probabilities towards the downside continuation. This now here has a very small stop loss. So I don't know, maybe I'll just throw a short here against the high here because of that. So that was USDJPY. Something that I don't really care about if it hits. If it does hit, I have no idea what this is. This has to be then a three-way move. But there has been cases where we have so-called double tested the top and then just plummeted. So again, really nice risk to reward ratio here. But yeah, let's go through the other requests. Not get too sidetracked. That was EURJPY. Don't really have a play on that at this point. I don't really like it. Apple. Just look at your micro if you have one. I do have one. Oh god, it took that beating down. Okay, so this was the one that we were looking for as a WXY down and then a three-way move up. It could be an ABC, doesn't matter really. I probably should just remove these. ABC, we have been in this very upwards channel for a very, very long time. We even tried to here on this channel edge, we got another bounce before we dropped dramatically down. And to me, again, what I've been looking at this as, it has been this ABC. Regardless of everyone talking about the new bull run, etc., I was not still convinced. This 1.618 basically was the maximum I wanted this three-way structure to go to. Whether it's a WXY or ABC, it does not really matter. We should move this over here. But what we did is we did hit one of the expanded B pocket targets here, which is the 1.236. And now that we are creating a potential five-way move here, any three-way move upwards is the sign to look for a short. Why? Is because again, this would be a three wave, and as we have taken out the highs here, expanded flat is the one that we would be expecting. So a five-way structure here on C wave. And again, we have the targets here at the lows of 124. And yeah, for that again, to get better risk to reward ratios, you want to be looking for that pump or this move to the upside before you want to be shorting. This here has very good looking structure for now for a five-way move. But of course, it doesn't mean that we are going to be getting this three wave. But shorting here at these, well, where it starts to look like we are getting some kind of consolidation here for a potential wave 4 of either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't really like it because again the target here is kind of shallow, so that's why I would be liking us to get a bit higher before entering any kind of short. So again, lower time frames, what you'd be looking for is well, this here looks very much like a diagonal. It could even be a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That would be super bearish. But again, the same idea remains that I don't think this is large enough to be a wave 1 of that C wave. So again, I would be expecting this to become a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yo, what up, faints? But yeah, that's my outlook on Apple. Very decent soon, hope-ish. Hopeful for that short to be happening soon. I did not get to play that. But those are the requests for today. Let's check out again the original ones again. So NVDA did come down, and I think this was the last time we were talking about this here. I was looking for a couple more lows that did not happen, We got this bounce, however, and got this divergence that we were looking for here. And yeah, that is something that we want to be seeing. The question here is that, does this have enough juice behind it to continue to the upside? This does not really look too bearish. However, this reminds me so much of the current indices. And for the most indices, you can create a diagonal in here, which is very scary. And it looks a bit like expanding diagonal. You could say that, yeah, you could say that. On the indices, most you would have as a contracting one. But yeah, here, if we get a three wave, there is a chance for this to plummet. And then this, we don't need to be waiting for this to unravel, sorry. And instead we would just be saying that these 3s and 4s would be shifting at least one spot here. But I think we are still creating the 4s based on these lower lows here on RSI, while we're still creating higher highs, higher lows on the price. But yeah, I still expect some move to the upside. It doesn't fit the outlook on the indices though, so maybe NVDA is one of those that is going to have a separate run on it on its own, trying to do something else just alone. But again, it's one of the large stocks, so definitely has the indices, or the indices are going to be having an effect on if this is going to be running. Netflix, let me get a sip of water here. Okay, so this did not play out yet. I'm still waiting for this whole thing to happen. I'm still expecting us to probably take the liquidity from here. I'm going to be actually setting an alert here. This probably happens today, this move here to the downside. And then I would be expecting this move to start happening, because I'm still expecting us to get a bottom leg for here to create this 3 wave. Because again, on Netflix as well, we have the chance of that this is the start of something new and to the downside continuation. For sure, this does not look good, in my opinion. So I feel like this is impulse wave, the best I can get at this point from Netflix. So I don't think that this is really realistic looking. It's so far above the 1.618 that it doesn't have the probabilities on its side. So that's why I'm really looking for this short. You could be looking for this long as well, smaller time frames, and the stop would be down here. So something along these lines here. I'm liking this as well. Meta. It had a very similar channel to what Apple did. We broke the channel and then we went straight up onto the top of the channel, and now we are coming back down. We've had this area of interest here where we had consolidation and volume. We still have some of the targets here, depending on how you want to be labeling this. I feel like this is the high that we need to be using. So this would be a 3-way structure, and we are now hitting the 1.618 here. Oh, sorry, 1.382. And yeah, this area of consolidation here, as a previous resistance area, is probably going to be taking some kind of effect. And now we are getting some kind of reaction to the downside from it. This one does not really have the best looking structure overall. We could be getting something like this. However, wave 1 is smaller already than the 3, I think. Just by eyeballing it here. Yeah, it is. So it's not the best diagonal. If I was to play a diagonal, I would not be playing that on Meta. Tesla. Tesla has been coming down as well. If we are still creating these 3s and 4s as we are expecting, well, it is possible that it is done with this ugly 5 wave here. But yeah, it's still possible that we are creating this C wave. C wave, now it turns to look like some kind of diagonal. One of the targets for this one is take liquidity from 238. I have an alert here, and that is the target for this C wave. And again, this becomes the ideal expanding diagonal. Why don't I expect it to pivot before it is just because the running flat. What was I saying? Expanding triangle, expanding flat, expanded flat. I don't know why I'm messing up so many words now today. But yeah, expanded flat here is more common than a running flat, which fails to get beyond the end or the end of wave A. So yeah, I kind of like the look of the potential liquidity grab here and then going up again. Alert set, best one would be again thinking that, okay, there is a chance that we are creating 1-2 here and then going in here with a clear stop in mind. If we are just doing this here, you might want to be setting a stop somewhere around here, which is again the invalidation of the idea of this being a wave 4 anyway. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, we'll see. If this, however, is somehow a wave C at these tops, and this indeed is a diagonal, then we need to be focusing on this pullback up in here. Because I feel like so many things or so many assets now have this potential of having a diagonal here. And if we bring up or come up in 3 and we get this kind of setup here, where we are getting a potential diagonal with a 3-way pull up, seeing some kind of divergence, a smaller time frame, why would we not look for this as at least an hedge for this pump up higher, right? So if it does this, or if it does this, we would be safe, right? The only thing I don't like about this being a 5-wave to the upside is the extensions here. And that we've been talking about previously as well. This has hit only the 1.236, which is the one of the main targets for a C wave, right? So that's why I'm not really too interested in it. So again, thinking that we have these diagonals on multiple assets going down, remember what it looked like, and then down again. I'm just a warning here. I'm still in the Tesla long as well. So yeah, there is still possibilities for the upside. Now the market has opened, and we are probably going to be seeing some alerts here, so I'm probably needing to take some trades meanwhile. I'm going to be preparing for some here at least. On some exchanges, this has already taken out its low. Like, yeah. We might be needing to monitor some of these. What was the NVDA doing? And that Apple looked interesting as well. But Apple, I'm expecting some more lows here. Potential like double divergence here before I would be looking for either this this retracement to the upside or anything else. Let's then check out Bitcoin. Bitcoin is kind of weird now at this point. We did create this three-wave structure coming to the downside, another three-wave. So what we are expecting here overall is a three-wave structure to the downside here overall. This, in my opinion, looks best like so. And I was thinking that we might get some kind of triangle here, but we created another low here. So I'm not quite sure what this is. I went long here. No, yeah, here. Sorry, here, this one, this low. And I took profits at the 1-to-1 and then stopped to enter, so and got stopped here. I don't really know what this is at the moment, but I think if we are again creating a new high here on top, create some kind of three-wave here, I'm definitely looking for short for this one, because that is what I'm expecting here. Stocks are just in correction, that's why they're not hitting targets. Might be. Triple 1-2-1-2, yeah. I originally was thinking that this was a 1-2-1-2, but we pumped up higher and got stopped. I got stopped on that, and then of course it dumped. But yeah, it definitely has the potential for it, and I'm just not quite sure how and what this is. I got so upset because I didn't really realize what this was. I really wanted this to be a 1-2-1-2, and this was my short somewhere in here, and we got moved down and then it took me out. Yeah, I don't know. Close invalidation for the triple 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. The invalidation for that would be here, right? 29.7, somewhere in here. The only thing about this is whether you have a ending here, the first wave, is that this second structure here is longer than the first one, which is why I'm thinking this more as a WXY, oh sorry, ABC downwards, three-way pullback, and then a continuation of that structure. Hitting that basically the minimum, but nothing else really. And that's why I'm thinking something like this, or something more like this, maybe into the 29 highs. I mean, it depends on which way you're looking for that as a wave 2. You mean this as a wave 1-2 or 1-2-1-2? I'm not quite sure which way you're looking at. So this still has the bullish potential of having this as a 1-2-1-2, and then 3-4-5, 3-4-5, and boom, and we're at 35k. But there is definitely a chance that this is just a three-way as well. But I'm not really playing this structure here. I'm playing more of this, or thinking that this is a W, X, and Y. I think it looks the best at this point, based on this consolidation here as well. Did not take out the liquidity down here. Looks bullish. You could say that, yeah. Overall, I would be looking for higher prices as well. I don't think that whatever we had here is done. I think this is the start of something rather than an end. The question here is that this is so long that I don't think that this is a 1-2. I think this is more like an AB. Whether it is done here or not, AB or AB. Okay, see you later, mate. But yeah, that's the only thing I would be watching on Bitcoin at this moment. If we break this high, I would be looking for shorts. And I'm not quite sure where the pivot is. Pivot here, it says it's here, but I don't know. Maybe it's something like this. It's very ugly though. And we are going into the weekend. Remember that a lot of things can happen again during the weekend. Inflation data. I was not actually watching that at all. It's good to know. Check out ETH. ETH has been so weird for so long now. I don't think it really provides too many good options. I don't even have accounts for this mess here. It's all overlapping. The start of it looks very impulsive, but I don't know what this is. I'm sure there is a way to label this into some kind of diagonal here. Maybe it is. Maybe it's just like some kind of A, B, and then C. It's super horrible looking, but that's the way we have it now. This is the Bitcoin 1212, but again, as we see here, ETH has taken out the lows. So keep that in mind if you want to be too bullish. Not the best. I really wouldn't really like to be trading ETH at this point. ETH again has the same idea here as Bitcoin does, that this looks kind of better as a 3-wave, hitting those corrected targets more than anything else. And now we are consolidating back down. Really similar what Bitcoin has. This has three. The difference is in here. While Bitcoin did not create a new low here, ETH did. And I don't think this is enough, because Bitcoin did not get down there. It does hit the minimum here, but again, I feel like this might be just the start of this, and then we get another something like this. And this is what the highs that we would be looking for on Bitcoin. Solana was one of the ones as well. If I can find it, right under the cursor there. So again, very cool looking chart. It might be that we are not done with this whole pump yet. We might get one more leg up. This, however, looks very much like some kind of 5-wave. Whether it's done as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, having that divergence there. There might be one more high here to create double divergence, which would be very nice to see. We did get an expanded flat here, I feel like, on the wave 2, which is abnormal, which would fit the idea that we have alteration here as well for the wave 4 instead. So maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that way you could have it done. But where you would be looking for long setups would be somewhere down here, 24 to 23.5, that area. That would require us not to take out any highs. If we take out some highs, then it's going to be something else. It has definitely potential of having some kind of diagonal mess here as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, creating one more high. Divergence here, divergence there, and then we dump or well, create the correction for this move. Now, we can't be too eager on this either, because we have the possibility of this being an ABC here. We already had a very good looking pump here previously for Solana, which turned out to be somehow a three-way move. This has to be a three-way move here, unless it is part of something before it, and I don't really feel like anything before it fits. This is the only one that fits, but it's so extended that I don't know. I don't really like it. Today looks like a proper dump day. I was hoping for, well, we'll get to those indices in just a moment. But yeah, that's Solana. I don't think there's anything else there too much. Maybe a high or two and then correction and then up again. Hopefully. ADA. Where's ADA? Yeah. I'm still in the short on this, based on the higher time frame here. This one. I'll just let it be 3, 3, and then, well, this probably has to be a 3 to take out this low here, unless this becomes a C wave with a diagonal. I don't like that option, because again, it's more likely to have a 3 wave instead of a diagonal, so that's the only reason I'm still in that trade. You could have some kind of diagonal here. It's super ugly. I'm not really willing to trade anything like this, so I'm just going to be skipping it for now, and we'll come back to it when it clears out a bit more. Phantom. This looked like 3 ways to me, from June highs or June lows to the highs, and then we started to create this horrible mess. I don't know what this is. I don't think this is a 5-way move, so looking for any kind of higher time frame plays like so is not really an option for me, at least. Lower time frames, we had some pumps, another pump. This one we already got lows of cleared, so again, it's not a 5-way move. Maybe this is an ABC where we are looking for continuation to somewhere. Maybe this is another 3, 3, and then we are getting some kind of move to the downside again, as everything here is very corrective and overlapping, so not really interested in at least longing too much. If we are creating or getting some kind of dump, then look for a 3-way pullback and then down again. What do you think about DKing, DraftKings? I can't analyze anything else but the Discord requests. Unfortunately, at this point, I don't have enough time. I need all the requests coming through the Discord at this point. So, okay, Tesla is giving us the alert here, so it's now clearing the liquidity here. So the question here is this going to be a diagonal, or is this just going to continue to dump or not? I'm setting a small long here, because we still have this divergence. If we start to break the divergence, I might be cancelling it manually, but I have my stop loss set on top of this one here. This is again just against the idea that this would be a wave 1 top, like we have it here. This definitely has more chance of being a wave C, and I'm more looking to short this than a long. But yeah, we'll see how that turns out. was the next thing I was looking for? We were looking at phantom, so now the indices. Let me get SIP as well again. Okay, so pretty similar idea to what we had on Tesla. Looking for some kind of potential diagonal here. I've been looking for this already. This had the potential. The only thing that I did not like is, oops, the fact that we only hit the 38.2. Is it possible that we have this as a ABC as the whole correction? It is possible. We have created a new high on RSI as well. So, while I would not really like that to be the case, it's possible that we have created a 1-2 of something, another 1-2, and then we just, whoops, collapse. Yeah, that's that. Dow had a bit better three-wave here. It retraced way more beyond the golden pocket. So again, that was more of that option. NASDAQ didn't really have that good of a look. On NASDAQ, I was still hopeful that we might get this as some kind of three-wave. There's still a way of labeling this into a diagonal here as well. But it's just horrible looking now, where this would be A, B, and then C here. So instead of anything else, just because this came up a bit high. But yeah, it's looking kind of grim at this point. So longs are very, very, well, they're risky. But for people, they still have the possibility of buying the dip and not miss the move. So there might be that case as well. And this is the bullish count that we have for NASDAQ, where this would be a three-wave. Stay inside these previous wave falls and not break through them too much, and then just continue to the upside. I feel like today is going to be very important, and see if we break down or if we can create some kind of 1-2 to the upside down continuation for NASDAQ at least. The other indices are not that bullish in my opinion. If we continue to the higher, then I'm not quite sure what kind of counts I would have here, because at that point again the extensions start to be more bullish overall. But yeah, that's that. Check out DAX as well. The idea that we would have this as 3. We did get this nice looking downwards move, and this is more of that bearish 5-wave structure lookalike than on the other indices, on the US indices. However, again, we have not really retraced too much here. So again, we only hit the 38.2, which is why I did not want to take any trade. This becoming an ABC has the potential, of course, and expanded flat. I have no other explanation for this at this point. Again, we had this as the 3-wave. The extensions were bad there as well. Only hit the 0.618. But what I would be looking for here is, if this indeed is not done and we create another high here, I might be interested in looking for shorts up a bit higher to create this into a 3. If this indeed becomes, a 3 here, we could be looking for a partner leg at least for this downwards, as we have not taken out this low here still. The thing here is that we are in the middle of 0.618 and 1-to-1 extension, so that's why I don't really like it. That's why I feel like there is something missing to this. So maybe a short up in here against the high is decent, or at least maybe even a bit lower stop loss maybe than the high. DAX, I I was expecting one more low here. We never got that. We instead just got this a 3-wave. So there is a chance that this is a 3-wave, and then again 3-wave here. And then it's going to be yet another mess of a move. I don't know what that would be part of. But higher time frame again has some, well, very bearish ideas. If this indeed is an ABC, it is possible that it is the end of this wave Y, which would be the end of this wave B here, which would be again AB, and then looking for C. It would not be expanded flat, but instead just a flat, regular flat. But still, we would be looking for C wave being a 5-wave structure to the downside, targeting the lows of June 2022. And if this indeed is the pivot, this is the pivot for all the indices. If we are looking at ES, for example, we've been looking at this for quite some time. If this indeed is a WX, well, we know what we are looking for next. A pattern look for this one. And that would be something like this. And goodbye to that so-called bull run. But we're not there yet. We don't need to get depressed. Not yet, at least. But there is always that chance. Yeah, it's a mess. This can be labeled so many different ways because everything is so overlapped. I really like the idea that this is some kind of 3 at least. Maybe into these lows here. Yes, as well. Diagonal very decent, and this being 3-wave. But we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. Let's see if we had anything else there. Maybe we can take a look at Russell. I know that it has not done anything. Yeah, this is still doing the same. Only bullish option that we have left is this diagonal. It's still kind of valid, but super horrible looking, since again this wave 1 took so long. I'm not going to be playing this at all. We've been in the same range since that June 2022. Same range, like this. How many days is that? 420. You could even almost count to these highs into being that range as well. 477. So yeah, it's quite a long time for a range. How's that USDJPY doing? Still nothing. Yeah, it's not doing much. We had a pump, so again this looks, well, it looks like it might be just wanting to pump up higher, and at that point again the whole thing is invalid, because if we pump any higher we're just going to be taking out the highs. What else? I think that is pretty much it. What's Tesla doing? It took out the low here, and this looks like very much like a 3 though. If we want to be staying more bullish, we want to be taking these out here, and then we can be starting to think about that retracement or the move upside, more to the upside, having this as a ABC instead, and then continuation to the upside. That's the bullish idea. But I'm pretty sure that is everything I wanted to cover on this live stream again. We got some chats going as well about some assets. I feel like Bitcoin is always the favorite, but it doesn't really matter what asset you're trading, as long as you know some of the extensions and what you are typically looking for. so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, Bitcoin is obviously a very good contestant for any kind of trading. It has good volume and is somewhat predictable, at least in the extension wise, unlike some altcoins. But yeah, I think that is pretty much everything I wanted to cover. So I'm going to be calling the live stream here. Again, thanks for participating, and we'll catch you on the next live stream again. Bye bye.